Hello, I'm Aaron Hampton with EoTech. One of the common questions we get asked is, hey, what do I bring to the range? So since we came out here to show you how to bore sight in zero, we're going to talk to you about what's in the range bag. Obviously the important things are having eyes and ear protection, targets, it's a big thing. Bring in your rifle and your optic, and I like to bring a spotting scope so that I don't have to spend as much time walking back and forth down range. It's also really helpful if you're at a public range where you don't necessarily have control of the line. This way you can utilize that precious range time a lot more efficiently. But in addition to that, there's some nice to haves, and there's a few things that I think are needs to have. So I kind of stock my range bag based on which range I'm going to and what I plan on doing for the day. One of the really important things, and a lot of people tend to overlook this, is making sure you bring the right magazines and the right ammunition for the weapons platform that you're bringing. You also want to make sure that you bring the appropriate targets, so that you know for a fact the range you're going to actually has those targets. So since we're zeroing, I wanted to make sure that I brought some zeroing targets with me. I keep all my ballistic data in my wind meter, so you want to make sure that you bring whatever it is that you're going to have your data on. But in addition to this, one of the things that I've learned is, hey, bring a backup. So I also bring my dope card for that particular weapon system and that ammunition. It's a great place to start making adjustments. That way I don't have to deal with trying to input everything into my device. In addition, lots at pretty much any range you go to will have some type of first aid kit. I even bring a small trauma kit just in case, but something they almost never have is the boo-boos and the scrapes and the little things. So, I've got a little bit of ointment, some cleaning rags, gloves. So, and I don't just use those for first aid. It's also when I clean the weapon system when I'm done. Some Zantac, some Tylenol, all the little nice to have things. They come in really handy. I mean, keep in mind you're standing around with a bunch of people shooting. Bring my goggles just in case it gets really bad, different lenses for my shooting glasses, staples. How many times have you run out of staples? Obviously you gotta have a stapler, but it's no good without the staples. A hat just in case the sun gets kind of brutal, a sling in case you want to do positioning work, timer. Gloves are always a great thing to have, especially if you're going to be moving stands around, those old staples, brass, everything can stick in your hands. You want to keep those things protected. My rear bag, a lot of times at a range I'll use my bipod or whatever the range has set up, sandbags, but I like to have my own rear bag. And one of the last couple of things, sunscreen and bug spray. I keep these in my bag right along with some trash bags because we want to leave the place as nice as we found it, or even a little bit better. And then last but not least, pins, zip ties, a highlighter so that I can mark my target and reuse them, saves me a little money, and then extra batteries, not just for my device but also for my Hearing Pro. So when you put all this stuff together, you keep it in your bag, it's a minimal investment, but we all have time constraints in our lives, and getting out to the range is really important. So when we can spare the time to get out there, it's best to make the most of it. So spend a little bit of extra money, put together a good range bag. Now you're prepared for all the contingencies. You can have a great time.